let's talk about the book Your Money or Your Life. Now, this is not just another book on budgeting, not at all. Think of it more like a completely new roadmap for your entire relationship with money. And it all kicks off by asking you one really deep personal question. So is it? I mean, really think about that. Do all the different pieces, your job, your spending, your relationships, what you say you value, do they actually fit together? If you hesitated for even a second, you're in the right place. Because the book argues that for so many of us, there's a huge conflict right at the heart of our modern lives. And this quote just nails it. Earning was supposed to serve living, right? It was the means to an end. But somewhere along the line, we flipped that script entirely. The means became the whole point. We get so wrapped up in earning, spending, and just worrying about money that we've kind of forgotten how to simply live. And this disconnect, well, it creates what the book calls the money trap. It's a cycle that a ton of us are caught in, and honestly, we often don't even realize how deep we're in it. Think about it. It's not just the 40 hours you're at your desk. It's the commute. It's the time you need to decompress when you get home. It's the little escape purchases you make just to cope with it all. This whole endless loop is what the book calls the not-so-merry money go-round, a cycle of working just so you can spend and spending just so you can keep on working. And here's the crazy part, the paradox of it all. Our buying power has absolutely skyrocketed. We have more stuff, bigger houses, more cars than ever before. But here's the thing, the data shows we don't feel any happier. In fact, a lot of us feel less well off. So if having more stuff isn't the answer, then what is? A huge piece of this trap is debt. I mean, look at this number. Even way back in 2007, consumer debt in America hit $2.5 trillion. That's over $8,000 for every single person. Debt is basically the shackle that chains us to that treadmill, forcing us to keep running whether we want to or not. But getting out of the trap isn't about just earning more or budgeting harder. It's about a complete and total mindset shift. We have to start questioning the financial habits we've inherited, the ones we never even thought to challenge. I love this story from the book. It's perfect. For generations, this family kept cutting the ends off the ham just because, well, that's how it was always done. The reason for it, a tiny pan, was long gone, but the habit stuck around. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many of our own financial habits are just like that? Outdated rules for a world that doesn't exist anymore. All right, let's try a quick puzzle. You see these 9 dots? The challenge is to connect all of them using just 3 straight lines, and you can't lift your pen off the paper. Go ahead, you can even pause and think about it for a second. It's trickier than it looks, and most people get stuck. Okay, so here's the solution. The only way to solve it is to draw your lines beyond the imaginary box that the dots create. And that is the entire point. To solve our very real money problems, we can't stay inside the lines of our old assumptions. We have to think outside the box. So what does it actually mean to think outside the box with money? Well, it starts with the single most powerful idea in the entire book, a concept that changes absolutely everything by completely redefining what money actually is. Here's the crucial shift. Money isn't just paper or numbers on a screen. Money is your life energy. It's the thing you get in exchange for the hours of your one precious and very finite life. Take a moment and just look at this table. Find your age. Now see that number in the hours column? That's the average amount of life energy you have left to spend. Now, this isn't meant to be morbid, it's meant to be clarifying, because that is the real currency you're working with every single day. So, when you start thinking like this, that $5 latte isn't just $5 anymore. You see it as the 15 or 20 minutes of your life you traded to earn it. That $1,000 phone, you see it as the full week of your life that it represents. This reframes every single financial decision you make. And once you start seeing money as life energy, you really can't unsee it. So where do you begin? The book lays out a 9-step program to turn this awareness into action, and it all starts with 2 really foundational steps. So, step 1, make peace with the past. You actually calculate your total lifetime earnings just to get a clear picture of everything that's come through your hands. And then step 2, you track everything, and I mean everything, not to create some restrictive budget, but to build a radical awareness of exactly where your life energy is flowing, cent by cent. And the guiding mantra for this whole process is no shame, no blame. This is so important. This isn't about judging yourself for past mistakes. It's about becoming a neutral scientist, simply observing the data of your own life so you can start making more conscious choices from this point forward. So where does all this awareness and tracking lead? It leads to a single, powerful goal: financial independence. But the book defines this goal in a very specific and maybe even surprising way. This chart is a key tool from the book, and it basically maps out the whole journey. This top line here, that's your income from work. This jagged line below it represents your monthly expenses. And notice how it trends down as your awareness grows. But the most important line is this one, slowly creeping up from the bottom. That is the income from your investments, your money starting to work for you. And this brings us to the goal, the crossover point. It's that magical moment when that rising line of your investment income crosses over your falling expenses. That is the moment you are financially free. You no longer have to trade your life energy for money just to survive. And this isn't about being a millionaire. It's not about having more than everyone else. It is simply about reaching that peak of fulfillment where you realize you have enough to cover your needs and to live a life that's truly aligned with your values, free from the money trap. So what does life actually look like on the other side of that crossover point? Well, it's not about deprivation. It's about discovering a much richer, deeper definition of what fulfillment really is. The book also completely reclaims the word frugality. We tend to think it means being cheap, right? But its Latin root, frui, actually means to enjoy. So true frugality is just the art of getting the maximum enjoyment and value from every single bit of life energy you spend. And so we end with one final question, but this one is for your future. If you didn't have to work for money, what would you do? Who would you choose to be? That is the real freedom this roadmap offers.